Well, thank you guys for being here on Monday night at 8 o'clock at night. I know there's a million other things you could be doing right now. And so I have a lot of respect for people that are curious. So if you got invited to this and you just wanted to be curious and learn more, I think that's awesome. And you're not stuck and there's no commitment and it's just learning more. And I think that that's really cool. Stay curious. You don't want to let something pass you by just because you didn't look into it. So I think that's really great that you're here. And if nothing else, just be flattered and know that whoever invited you to this really likes you. That's one of the cool things about this business is we get to do it with people that we enjoy being around and that we think are just joyful, radiant, positive, wonderful people. And so it's always a compliment that someone wanted to share with you this gift that they really love and invite you to be a part of it. So my name is Erika Ulrich, and I'm an executive regional vice president with this company, Arbonne International, and I absolutely love every second of doing this. It seriously brings me so much joy, and it's been such a huge blessing in my life. So I'm going to share with you kind of how I found Arbonne and what it is. I know some of you might not even know what it is, and then how maybe you could engage with what it is, right? And see if this would be something that would be a blessing in your life too. So for me, I found Arbonne because I have 3 kids and all of them were born prematurely. And so after the 3rd one, I was kind of like, what in the world? Why is this happening? There's nothing wrong with me. I've gone and seen all these different doctors. I'm not testing, positively for anything. Why am I just having babies way too early? What's going on here? And I started Googling and found out information about hormonal imbalance leading to premature labor. I was like, that's weird. Why would I have a hormonal imbalance? And so I kept Googling and researching more. And I found that there's a really strong connection between hormonal imbalance and chemicals that we're putting on and inside our body, especially in normally healthy people. If there's no other reason why, a lot of those unexplained mysteries are just some of the variables that we're adding in that were not created to be part of our lives, that are just these synthetic, unnatural chemicals. And as I was researching more about this, I found out just how prevalent it is. And I kind of had the mindset of, okay, yeah, sure, I'm sure that sweetener in diet soda, I'm sure that's not good, but it's just here and there. And, oh, I'm sure that there's some household cleaners that might have 1 or 2 toxic ingredients, but that's just the household cleaner. And, oh, maybe this isn't that great, but that's just this. But when you start to look at it as a whole, of all the things that we're using in our lives, like hand soap, laundry detergent, dish soap, perfumes, candles, lotion, moisturizer, deodorant, shampoo, all of these things, and if you're really adding all of that together, that's quite a lot of chemical exposure, especially when our bodies just weren't created for that. So it is kind of a lot, and it is a real thing. And sometimes I think in our own desire to stay in comfort, we go, oh, that's just the crazy people who feel that way, or oh, that's just you're being paranoid. But if you take the time and you really research, there are real dangers. Some of the dangers of using synthetic chemicals are that you can have a hormonal imbalance like I had that leads to infertility. Some of the dangers would be cancer. Some of the dangers would be endocrine disruption, which is hormonal imbalance, but it can also affect many other areas like your brain. A lot of depression, anxiety, mental health issues have a lot to do with chemical imbalances in our brain. Another thing would be synthetic dyes that actually can cross the blood-brain barrier and can be a neurotoxin. And so these dyes and synthetic chemicals can actually create in us autism-like symptoms. So we haven't, as a society, actually pinned it down what causes autism. We're not totally sure yet. There are a million different factors because our bodies are really complex, but it does cause autism-like symptoms. So kids that get overstimulated by noise or stressors in their environment, and maybe sometimes flapping of their hands, that is a symptom that is caused by neurotoxins that are in all these chemicals that we're both eating and putting on our body. And so I was like, oh my God, wow, this is crazy. So I went on a mission and just completely detoxed my entire house. I have 3 children, like I said, 5, 3, and 1, and a husband that I love and adore. And I'm like, okay, all the garbage is leaving the home. Like, we're not going to let this be around my family. And so I detoxed, the laundry soap, the dish soap. I got cast iron pots and pans and all of that. And then it came time to do my skincare and makeup. And I was like, oh, this is scary. I know that as women, and most of us on this call tonight are women, it's really important, our skincare and makeup. And especially to me, I had struggled with acne for a really long time. Like the kind of acne where like I would beg my mom not to make me go to school, and it was just really, really sad. And I had actually found another company that had skincare that I was using that worked and cleared up my skin, and I was even a consultant for them at the time. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay, so I'm gonna have to put this down, because how could I ethically represent a company that I wasn't even comfortable putting on my own self, let alone share that with people that I love. So I put that down, and I decided that I was going to reach out and find some skincare. And so I called my friend Kelly, and the reason I knew to call her is I had actually tried to sell her that other skincare brand before, and she was like, I would never put that on my face. And so when it came time to make the switch, I was like, hey, so what do you put on your face? And so she told me that it was Arbonne. So I met with her, I tried a sample, I loved it. I did not break out, even though I thought I would. And I switched my entire skincare and makeup over to Arbonne. And because I was making, a larger purchase, she said, why don't you sign up as a consultant so you can get the best discount? Basically, to be a wholesaler, right? Like if anyone has friends in the fashion industry and you're like, they have a wholesaler license and they go to LA and they get to buy all of these things for a cheaper price, I'm like, sure, I'll be a wholesaler. That's great. I love clean products, and I'm switching my whole life over, so I'll be a wholesaler. So I signed up for that. And then I decided that I was going to kind of test the waters to see what a business like this would be like. If I am going to be using clean products and I really believe in them, and I'm sharing my journey online anyways, I'm sharing with people all these Amazon links for, hey, these are the pots and pans that I use. Hey, this is the laundry soap that I use. Why don't I get paid for sharing? I'm not getting paid for sharing those pots and pans. I'm not getting paid for sharing about the laundry soap, but I was like, why don't I get paid for sharing and helping other people make better choices in their life? And I said, okay, I want to just make a couple $100 extra a month so I can pay a babysitter, so I can go out on a date with my cute husband that I never see. And so after just a couple of weeks, I hit that milestone and I started making, $300, which that's really fast. I don't know any of you if you've started a business, but the average cost to start a business in the United States of America is $214,000. Which I'll tell you later, but it doesn't cost $214,000 to start an Arbonne business. But that $214,000, before you're profitable at that rate as a business owner, it's going to be years. It's going to be a long time. So for me to be profitable after only 3 weeks, I was like, well, this is cool. Maybe it's time for me to dream bigger. And so I jumped all in with Arbonne, and I have been just enjoying the ride and loving it ever since. So what is it that we have to offer? One of the reasons why I think Arbonne is such a smart choice for not only a consumer basis, like I told you with our clean products, we don't have parabens, phthalates, sodium lauryl sulfates, benzene, synthetic fragrances, sweeteners, or dyes. Our products are the cleanest out there. The strictest governing body in the world is the UK. And they have banned roughly 1,300 chemicals from being used in personal care products there. The United States has banned 37, so we're really far behind. And I got those statistics, if you want to look it up, from the Environmental Working Group website. They're kind of respected as like the #1 researcher on toxic chemicals in personal care products. And you can look them up at ewg.org. It's a great organization that really brings a lot of consumer awareness about these sorts of things. So obviously we're great from a product perspective, but from a business perspective, we're on trend. A lot of people are waking up to this. A lot of other people, it's so good. It's good news. Other people are deciding that they want to make better choices for themselves and their families too. So I don't know if you've stepped foot in Target recently. I try not to go there because it's very expensive when I do. But if you've walked into Target, you'll see that there's signs that say paraben free. phthalate free. And I'm like, cool. I'm doing the right thing, right? Like I am in a business that everyone else is trying to follow. And the cool part about Arbonne is we've been doing this since 1975. We're not riding the market trend. We're not, like just doing this because it's cool right now. We're doing this because it's what we were founded for. Peter Mork, our founder in 1975, set out to start a company that was moral and ethical and responsible and cared about consumers and not just the bottom line. That was his entire goal. And so I love that. So we're totally clean chemical-wise. We're totally clean in the sense that we're vegan. We are cruelty-free. We always have been. We would never, ever, ever test on animals, and I love that. We're also made in the USA, which means a lot to me. I think that's really cool. That means that we pay a sustainable living wage to all of our employees that help to make these products that we buy. So that makes me feel good too. There's a lot of reasons to feel good about Arbonne. So we have skincare, and we have skincare for everyone. So if you're a baby, or if you're a grandma, or if you're a man or a woman, we have skincare for everyone. If you have sensitive skin, if you have acne, if you have redness, if you want to fight wrinkles, if you want to fight dark spots, we have a skincare line for you. And that's awesome. We've got you covered. I've used all of them and they're all great. They all really, really work. They're all gentle. They're all great. The next thing that we have is we have makeup. And our makeup is amazing. I don't know about you ladies, but I felt like if I was going to switch from department store makeup to plant-based makeup, that it was going to smear off my face and that it was not going to be any good. I just kind of had this thought in my mind that chemicals have to be better than plants at staying on your face, right? Not true. Plants do a really good job. Our makeup is the best, the smoothest. It dries in this beautiful matte finish, our liquid foundation, but then we have these glowy bronzer. Our makeup is the bomb. It's the best. So anything that you're in love with right now that you're buying somewhere else, I promise we can replace it with something that's cleaner, safer, at a comparable price point, and better for you. Isn't that cool? I love it. So we've got everything: liquid eyeliner, pencil eyeliner, eyebrow, all the stuff. So cool. We also have personal care. So we have shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, deodorant, baby diaper rash cream. We've got a ton of stuff. We have over 450 products in our catalog. But I would say that our hallmark product is our 30 Days to Healthy Living program, because we are the #1 leader globally for health and wellness from the inside out. So we're not just about skincare and makeup on the outside, but we're also about finding out what's going on the inside of our bodies. Because for me, I had acne before, and acne is an outward expression of an internal problem. So acne is your body saying, I don't like what's going on in my gut, and so I'm trying to get your attention. So I'm making pimples on the outside, right? Our bodies are not created to have acne. That is not the way they were made. So it's your body trying to communicate with you and tell you that something is awry. And I love that we're able to take care of both things. And I also love that our healthy living program is not a diet, because I have a daughter and she's turning 1 tomorrow, and she doesn't need to feel like her mother runs a dieting business. Right? That's not good. It's also that's really not the point, because being skinny is fun and it's nice, right? But it doesn't matter if you're sick. You could be really skinny and have the entire Pinterest body of your dreams, which probably doesn't even exist in the real world. But if you're really sick on the inside and you don't have energy and you don't feel good, who cares? So really, if you're nourishing your body and you're taking care of it on the inside and you're showing yourself love, the outside is going to look great. So I like that that's the way that we approach it instead of the other way, which I've honestly done for the last 30 years, and it really wasn't serving me. And this is so much better. So we remove from our diet anything that is acidic, inflammatory, or addictive. One, because acid makes the body more prone to disease. It also makes the body more prone to inflammation. And inflammation means pain. If your body is inflamed, it's going to be in pain. And so we want you to feel good. That's the goal. Your body being an alkaline environment, which is the opposite of acidic, means that it's all working in harmony with each other and that disease cannot prevail there. The other thing is addiction. We don't want to have addiction in our life, right? Like, it's not, addiction is never like a goal. We don't want to have that. And I know that like a lot of people love their coffee and they love their sugar and they love their carbs. I'm going to be honest, I'm a sugar carbs person. Coffee never did it for me because I'm too hyper as it is, but I do love carbs. It's a real thing. But when you take and you find out how to replace things that you love with foods that you love that also serve your body, that's super powerful. The reason why things are addictive is because they cause a swing in our energy levels. So if you think about anything that you're addicted to, that you like love food-wise, like coffee, you wake up and you're tired, so you have your coffee, and then you're up here, and then you crash in the afternoon. So a lot of people have sugar. That was me in the afternoon. And then people crash, and so they have carbs with dinner, which is essentially sugar, white processed carbs. And then they crash, and so they have like a sweet at night, and then they have wine so they can go to sleep. So they have their coffee in the morning because they're tired. And so you're on this like energy roller coaster, and you're not able to have stable blood sugar levels, and you're not able to be in control of your cravings. And I like that, to feel in control of what I put in my mouth. I have been doing our healthy living program for the last 7.5 months. And there was a time when I first started this, like the first couple weeks, where I'd be sitting on the couch and I would be like compelled to go find sugar at night. So I'm like, that's crazy, Erika. Like, that's crazy. Like, you got to get that in check, you know? And now there are times definitely where I call it premeditated choices. Like, I'm making a premeditated choice right now that I'm going to have a scoop of Rocky Road and it's going to be delicious, and I'm getting back on the wagon afterwards. But it's not a compulsion that, like, you know, like there's a difference there in the way that feels. So I love that I don't feel like I'm going to ever gain weight back. Has anyone ever done a diet where they're like, okay, like I could do this for maybe 3 weeks super hardcore, then I'm going to Hawaii and I'm going to be in a bikini, and when I get back home, it's over. You know, like I've done that before so many times, and I just feel like I don't ever want to do that ever again for the rest of my life. I only ever want to do anything that's sustainable and that's going to be a lifestyle, and I'm not going to backtrack and have this like guilt shame process of like that's just so unhealthy mentally for me. Like, I like just knowing like, this is my plan. This is what serves my body well. And if I choose to make a choice here and there, like 20% of the time, fine. And so I feel like Arbonne has given me freedom with food. And that is like such a gift, such a gift. I can eat in any restaurant and stay on our plan. I can make myself food. I can travel. I can do anything and stay on a plan that's going to be serving my body. So if you are interested in learning more about freedom with food, reach out to the person who invited you to come listen to this, and they'll give you like all the nitty-gritty details. We have a fit kit, we call it. It has vegan protein, fiber, our energy fizz sticks, probiotics, our detox tea, and our body cleanse drink comes in this fit kit. And you also get a full complete program with like meal plans, recipes, grocery lists, and a complete support network to coach you through this 30 days program. So this isn't just like a protein shake that you buy. This is like, you're getting a nutritionist, you're getting a support group, you're getting meal plans, this is a full-on lifestyle change that is gonna work for you, and it's gonna work long term. So if you're interested in that, reach out to the person who invited you, because there's so many cool details surrounding that. The last thing that I wanted to share with you guys tonight is about our incredible, incredible business. So if you're at all interested in clean skincare, or you're at all interested in clean makeup, or you're at all interested in healthy living and vegan supplements and vitamins and great protein and these energy fizz sticks, and this all sounds like something that you could jive with, like, hey, like that sounds like a good lifestyle. Sounds really balanced, sounds really fun. Wouldn't you want to share that with people that you love? Everybody does that. So if you go to a great restaurant and you're like, that was so good, you're going to tell your friends. Did you know, this is really cool. I actually just read this. This was yesterday. I think it was from a TED Talk. I can't remember. I'll have to go through my search history on the internet and figure out like where this was. It's so interesting to me that talking about a positive experience ignites the same part of your brain as sex and food. Isn't that crazy? So if you're reliving a positive experience, so that's why we love to talk about things. Like we love to tell others like, hey, I had this amazing dinner here at this restaurant, or I stayed at this great hotel, or I did this. It gives you that same sense of joy to share joy with others. And so that's basically what we get to do. So that is my job, is that I'm super into this healthy lifestyle. I'm really into detoxing my house, and I'm purchasing these products anyways, and I think they're awesome and they're helping me in my life. And so I just share with my friends, hey, this has given me joy. I think it would give you joy too. And they're like, cool. So it's really, really a very basic business model. That's the part of it that's kind of like having an online store, right? But this is so much bigger than an online store. There's an element of this business that will actually create an ability for you to leverage your time so that you can become wealthy. This is insane, okay? Like I am so lit up about this concept. It's crazy. So before this, I had my own photography business. And I am not gonna lie, I love photography. It's great. The photography, the art is amazing. It is so much fun. And doing it like as I please when I want to is so fun. And it still like is a creative outlet for me that I really enjoy. But photography as a business to create an income is an enormous amount of work. Every time I want to get paid, I have to find a client, I have to market to them, we have to talk about the scope of the project, I get a babysitter, I drive to the location, I do the shoot, I come home, I upload the memory cards, I cull through, I get rid of the blurry ones, upload the proofing. I'm like hours of work. And I have 3 kids, and I would be doing this after they go to bed. I would be staying up until about 2 a.m. editing photos of other people's smiling families on my computer screen. And I'm like, this is not a good thing for me. You know, I can't stay up until 2 a.m. every single night and get up with the kids at 6 a.m. I am not going to be a healthy person if I continue to do this for very much longer. And so what I love about this, if all Arbonne was an online store where I got to sell you protein, I wouldn't really be that crazy about it. This is an online store where I get to sell protein, but more than that, I get to help other people engage in a business where they can grow and be successful, and I get to build teams and cultivate leaders and breathe life into them and help them be successful, and we all grow. So I now have a team of over 260 people. And every single time one of them shares the joy of Arbonne with someone else, I get paid when they decide to buy clean, safe, beneficial products. I get paid. Crazy. So this business model allows me to leverage my time. I work about 10 to 12 hours a week doing Arbonne work too. Like it's very easy. Like I reach out to people and just share these fun things. About 10 to 12 hours per week, but I'm not just getting paid on my 10 to 12 hours. I'm getting paid on 260 people's 10 to 12 hours per week. And that is time and financial freedom. And that's a scalable business model where you can actually create wealth. Even if you are a super successful, very wealthy neurosurgeon, you are still exchanging time for money. Time for money. You have to work every time you get paid. And as long as you're in that business model, you will never be able to stop working. Never. You will work a long time if you're doing that business model. And that is not what I'm looking for. For me, I want to be able to have time with my family, time with my kids. I don't want to feel like I'm stuck on a hamster wheel of like trying to get paid so I can pay the bills. I don't want my husband to work 60 plus hours a week. I don't want him to take on side jobs. I don't want to take on side jobs. I want us to be able to be with our kids while they're little. I want us to be able to travel and see places. I want us to be able to give back. We both have a heart for foster children, and we'd like to start a camp for those kinds of kids. But we can't do that if my husband's working 60 plus hours a week. So I love that this sort of an opportunity gives us the chance to be able to dream again. And it gives us the chance to be able to think outside of ourselves. Because when you're constantly busy figuring out how you're going to pay your bills, you're not able to think about how you can bless the rest of the world. You're thinking about how you can just survive. And I love that this business is so focused on being a blessing to the world that it really cultivates heartfelt leaders who grow big businesses with other heartfelt leaders who create big change. And that is where my passion is. So some of the money that's able to be made here, I know that this all sounds great, right? Everyone's like, yeah, I want to do that, right? But I want to share with you some of like the nitty gritty numbers and stuff, because there's a real scientific business model behind this too. It's not just fluff and feelings and emotions. Like, this is a smart business model. So when you first start out, you're a consultant, and you don't have to keep any inventory. You don't have to hit any minimums. You don't have to buy or sell a certain amount of product in order to stay a consultant. You don't have to ship anything, handle invoicing, deal with returns, or customer service. All you are is an online store that you refer people to, and you're a leader to your team. That's it. And I love that, because I don't want to be going to the post office and shipping things out. I also don't want to take the risk of carrying overhead and buying a bunch of inventory. That's kind of dangerous. I'm not comfortable with that. And I don't want my garage to look like a storage facility. So I love that the Irvine warehouse handles all of that for me. I just get to share with people. And that's what I'm good at, and that's what I love. So you start out, you're a consultant. The average income there at the consultant level is between $100 to $300 per month, which is so cool. Like I said earlier, you're making back your investment in the first 30 days. So awesome. After that, the next level of management is district manager. And I hit this level after 30 days in business. And we teach and train everyone on our team to hit this level in 30 days, 60 days at the longest. So you can definitely do this. This is not something that like only a couple of people can do. Like, oh, there's like 10 people at the top, and then there's maybe like 5 people. No, there's thousands of people who are successful in this business, and you can be one of them if you just follow the super simple steps that are outlined. It's really possible for everyone, I promise you. So district manager, the first 30 to 60 days of your business, you'll be making between $400 to $1,000 per month, which is awesome. $1,000 per month is our entire grocery budget for a family of 5. So I don't know what $1,000 is to you, but that's a lot of money. The next level after that is area manager. And at this level, you'll make between $1,000 and $4,000 per month. And I got here in, I want to say it was 45 days, I hit area manager. What's cool about the area manager level too is that your business is willable. So if you were to pass away, you could will your business down up to 7 generations. And what's cool is that there will be a business left, I promise, because your customers will run out of protein, and they'll run out of their skincare, and they'll run out of their foundation, and they'll go back to reorder, and your family will be getting paid. Also, your team will continue to grow their business, and your family will continue to get paid. So I love that Arbonne really looks out for our loved ones and really looks out for us and how they've structured this business. And for area managers to be making between $1,000 to $4,000 per month after only about 90 days in business, $4,000 per month, a lot of people get to quit their day job at that level, which is really cool. The next level is regional vice president, and at this level you'll be making between $4,000 to $14,000 per month. This is the level that I'm at. It is super amazing. You also get to pick out a white Mercedes of your choice, and Arbonne sends you a bonus that covers the cost of that. So I got a little Hot Mama convertible. I have a minivan that I love and adore and will never get rid of as my daily driver car for my kiddos. And then on the weekends and when I go on date night, I get to drive my little hot convertible, and it's super fun. And also, that's just another asset of mine. So Arbonne is sending me money to put money into this car that I chose to buy, and that's something that I own, which is really cool. And then also the income here is amazing. Really great. After this level, there's another level called National Vice President, and I'm going to be going into qualification for this level in April. So it'll be, yeah, I know. So it'll be, I want to say 9 or 10 months in business when I go in qualification. So not very long at all. And the average income at this level is $22,000 per month, which at $22,000 per month, we're talking about giving back earlier. You really do, because you just can. It's so easy at that point. You've got all of your needs covered, and you get to think about, what am I going to do with all of this extra that I have now? And you get to bless so many people. And I love that all of the MVPs that I know, that's what they do. they all live that sort of a lifestyle of giving back, and it's really amazing. Arbonne actually really facilitates that culture. They have a foundation called the Arbonne Charitable Foundation, where they give back to teenagers, and they help teenagers in crisis with mental health issues, and if they need, resources, they take care of teenagers, and I love, love, love that. So really an amazing company. So I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. It's been a lot of information, I realize, thrown at you. And I want you to just take a second and think about it. So what really caused me to want to jump in with both feet was when someone asked the question, what will your life look like in the next 5 years if you don't change anything? And so for me, my husband's working 60 hours a week. I was working 2 jobs. He also had a side job. And I'm like, life isn't going to get cheaper in 5 years. It's probably going to get more expensive because our boys are going to get older and they're going to eat us out of house and home. And it's just going to get more expensive. And we're probably going to be still working these hours. And that's really not what I've always dreamed of. That's not how I wanted to be there for my kids. And so what is that for you in 5 years? If nothing changes, what will that life look like? And is that the life that you want? And what's really cool is you get to decide. You get to decide if that's the life you want. And if it is, then good for you. That's awesome. And if not, then let's make a change together and let's help you figure out how we can get to a life that excites you in 5 years, where you're lit up in 5 years. And the other thing where I was like, whoa, this is crazy, is to know that the average length of time that it takes to get to the top level of the company, where you're making $22,000 a month, is 3 to 5 years. That's like the same amount of time it takes to get a bachelor's degree, and you'll be making $22,000 a month. That's not very long. 3 to 5 years is the blink of an eye. And if you just put one foot in front of the other and you follow the advice of the amazing mentors that you'll have in this business, you can get there. So amazing. So the other question I have, say you love your job. I know a lot of people that do, and that's great because we need doctors and nurses and lawyers and people to teach our children. We need all kinds of people in this world to make it go round. And so if you love your job, I am so grateful for you. But let me ask you this. What would happen if that job disappeared overnight? Because it happens all the time to people. Unfortunately, they get laid off, companies go under, things change, there's restructuring. Also, technology is changing. A lot of jobs that we have are going to be phased out over time. So what would happen to you if your specialty got phased out? I mean, that's kind of a scary thought, and that could happen to any of us. And so it's so smart to have a plan B. It's so smart to have a plan B. And I am so excited that Arbonne is here as a vehicle to all of us that choose to take hold of it so that we can create a plan B and we can create a life that we've only ever dreamed of. And we get to meet and work with so many incredible people. That is ultimately my very favorite thing about this, is all the super incredible humans that I've been able to become friends with because of this business. So I wanted to take a second and I wanted to unmute everybody and ask if there's any questions or anything that you wanted to talk more about before we end. Did anybody have any questions or anything for me? I'm happy to answer them.
No.
No? Hi, how are you? Good to see you, Kathy.
Hi.
Hi.
Aloha.
Aloha.
We just saw Bridget in Waikiki.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, with our team. Our team all met.
Good for you. That's so cool. Okay, well, I just want, go ahead. Who is that that's trying to talk? We can't talk.
It's Jasmine.
Hi.
So can you tell them how much it actually is gonna cost for them to start up?
Yeah.
Just
Totally.
to basically get started.
Yeah, okay. So here's how you would get started. So if you wanted to start this business, it's $49. That's so cheap. So it's $49 to start this business. But my suggestion to anyone who chooses to start this is you can pay the $49 and you get a website and you get the customer service team and you're totally in business, and that's amazing. But if you've never tried anything from Arbonne, you're not going to be able to share about it, and so you won't be successful. So I never suggest to anyone to sign up just paying $49. because I don't want you to do this and not be successful, because that's super demoralizing. That's not why anyone signs up, right? Like everyone wants to be successful. So,
3 times as big. My walking.
okay, there we go. So what I would suggest is, if you're ready to jump in with both feet into this business, is that you would pick something that interests you the most, like skincare, makeup, or nutrition, and you would try out one of our sets that we have. They're an amazing value, and you'll get them for the deepest discount possible as a consultant. And so the average investment there would be around $300. So if you were to do the $49 for the consultant sign-on fee, and then you would do like the nutrition kit, which is $222, it would be about $300 out the door. And that is my number one suggestion, is the nutrition kit, just because it's so easy to share. If you think about it, you're taking before and after pictures. You're making a protein shake in the morning. You can take a picture of that and share it. You're, making your fizz stick. You're having radical results and transformation in your body. It's just so easy to share. So it's something that really sets everyone up for like the best success possible. And that's always my hope for people, is to be successful. So that's what I would suggest. But you can do it in as little as 5 minutes. So you'll log on to the website of whoever invited you to come to this call, and there's a button that says register, and you click register, and then there's a button that says start earning, and you click that, and then you can fill out all of those fields, and you're in business. Isn't that crazy? You have a business in 5 minutes. So cool. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Perfect. Did anybody else have any other questions? No? Okay, well, thank you so much for being here tonight, you guys. If you do have questions that you think about later, you can send me a message on any social media. You can find me. My username for like everything is Mrs. Ulrich. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Monday night and a great week.
Thank you, Erica.
Bye, Brooke. Bye, guys.
Night.
See you, everyone.